Jesteśmy dzisiaj w klubie polskim w Ashfield na spotkaniu o otwarty Polski Dzień Kulturalny w hołdzie Ninie Skoroszewskiej. Nina Skoroszewska była wybitną polską aktywistką, osobą, która nie tylko pełniła wiele poważnych funkcji w różnych instytucjach rządowych w Australii, ale również oddana była sprawie Polaków i dbała o to, aby Polacy mogli tutaj znaleźć miejsce dla siebie. Była jednym z założycieli Biura Opieki Socjalnej dla Polaków w latach 70., które w tej chwili nosi nazwę PAWA, jak również współinicjatorką Domu Starców w Marajong. Przez całe życie myślała o Polakach, jak im pomóc, w jaki sposób ułatwić im start w Australii. I jesteśmy dzisiaj na wystawie poświęconej jej życiu, która przedstawia poszczególne etapy jej pracy w Australii. Gdyby żyła, w tym roku kończyłaby 100 lat. Zapraszam Państwa do obejrzenia tej wystawy.
To help us acknowledge the legacy of our Nina and what happened then, I would like to invite Helen Motyl, a former social worker with strong links to Ashfield, the beginnings of the Polish Welfare Bureau and the multicultural movement across Sydney.
I personally knew Nina as a fellow social worker colleague, mentor and close friend. It is therefore my great privilege to celebrate today with you Nina's prolific work and acknowledge the enormous contribution spanning 19 years made by Nina to the Polish community and more widely to the Australian community through her dedicated pioneering work in multicultural activism. It should be noted that she was among the very first women to serve in a senior position in the Ethnic Communities Council of New South Wales, the Federation of Ethnic Communities Councils, and on other government bodies and inquiries. Nina left an inevitable impact on the multicultural welfare and education scene, and her legacy is an enduring one. Today, the Polish Information Welfare Service, which Nina helped establish in 1974, continues under its new name, PAWA Community Care, providing aged care services and support to carers. The Polish nursing home at Marajong is also a part of her legacy. At her initiative in recognising the special needs of a second major group of Poles arriving in Australia in the early 1980s by instigating a state government task force to ensure they would have the necessary resources to help them settle and adjust to their new home, has had positive long-term effects. For a detailed outline of Nina's personal and work history, I would recommend that you visit the exhibition honouring her on the second floor if you have not already done so. I first met Nina in 1974 when we were both working in the Burwood Ashfield area for different government departments promoting and developing the Whitlam Labor government's radically significant new policies, multiculturalism and the Australian Assistance Plan, which was promoting local grassroots participation in social planning and community development under the umbrella of newly created regional councils with direct access to government funding to all community groups. The plan's multicultural policy was a long-awaited response to the increasing ethnic cultural diversity of Australian society resulting from mass immigration in the decades following World War II. Assimilation or Anglo-conformism had been the government's policy from 1947 to 1972, and the prevalent expectation at that time was that migrants would assimilate as quickly as possible with limited assistance from the government. They were to abandon their past allegiances and cultural identities and replace them almost instantaneously by adopting the Australian way of life. The term New Australians quickly replaced less flattering descriptions such as refos and even worse. They were not to speak their own language, to speak only English, and not to live in what they described as ethnic ghettos. In the new milieu created by Gough Whitlam, a spirit of optimism swept through the entire ethnic communities, and past inequities were increasingly no longer being accepted. At that time, Ashfield quickly established an inner west regional council, and given its high ethnic population, became an epicentre of multiple activities in welfare and education. This was supported by the then state member Paul Whelan, Ashfield Mayor Lou Herman, and Alderman Bill Jegro. The latter became the chairman of the Inner West Regional Ethnic Committee, which eventually became a springboard for the establishment of the Ethnic Committees Council in New South Wales. The then president of the Ashfield Polish Club, George Boyer, also played an active supportive leadership role for his community, becoming an executive member of the Ethnic Committees Council. And Australian and Polish academics such as Professor Skoroszewska, often called the father of multiculturalism, with Dr. Smolich and Dr. Jamrozik, further fostered the multicultural spirit among the Polish community. Until then, the first generation Poles had become invisible as a group in the wider Australian community, having received little assistance from the host society since arriving in Australia. They largely survived entirely on their own and established and financially supported their own Polish community associations. Nina became the Polish community's guiding light and visionary throughout the 70s, 80s and early 90s, addressing major issues in the community and advocating for government resources and grants. Her first major initiative was establishing the Polish Information and Welfare Bureau in 1974, with Mrs. Irena Wojek initially working in a voluntary capacity before becoming its first grant-in-aid worker in 1978. Nina then continued throughout her social work career to be a trailblazer in advocating for the rights, needs and services of the Polish community. As an insight into Nina's beautiful nature and personality, I would like to share with you the words her niece in the UK wrote in her eulogy. She described her aunt as always sparkly. Whenever she saw her, from her personal appearance, of very colourful clothes that she always wore, with her skin sun-tan and shining, to her wonderful laughter and sparkling eyes, her wit and interesting conversation, and her enthusiasm for life and just to have fun. Kim Lim, her senior social work boss in migrant services, has paid tribute to Nina's professional work and their special friendship as follows. She was an unconventional, highly professional and proficient social worker who lived and breathed social work and gave her whole life to serve and empower the migrant communities. Her significant knowledge of multicultural diversities and communities, coupled with her high integrity and commitment, were invaluable in enhancing my management roles and responsibilities. Her relationship with me profoundly changed me personally. I will never forget her. She was my special friend. Nina was a wonderfully unique person, a visionary in her field. She possessed enormous intellectual energy and greatly inspired and motivated others. She worked especially hard to mentor women into leadership roles and help promote the next generation of community activists. A great communicator and networker, she was tireless in her work, always putting the welfare of others first. She was a true humanitarian and a wonderful representative of the Polish community in Australia, whose achievements were recognised in a number of awards. We salute you, Nina, our shining star.